I know that you guys saw this last night. Nick Peta just signed the 4-year deal with the Padres.
What did he end up getting?
I don't know. This 50 was it? I might
4 for 55.
Okay.
4 for 55. I knew it was 4 years.
And there was a
Thank you.
qualifying offer there too.
Okay, so some trade or some draft stuff as well. Okay, so he is now with San Diego. Now, I did see something. I don't want to just throw ridiculous stuff out there that it looks like maybe San Diego's going to have a change of heart and they will keep both King and Dylan Cease, just to be fair to the conversation. However, if the Padres call you, first I want Sal, then Hoff, and they say straight up, Dylan Cease, Jet Williams, what are you doing?
I am trading Jet Williams.
Hoff, Jet Williams, Dylan Cease.
No.
Really?
Why?
You got to make that trade.
Jet Williams, I was just talking to somebody about him yesterday off the air. And getting my, I don't know anything about Jet Williams. We know he's undersized. We know about the athleticism. The comparisons have been Dustin Pedroia, and the person, somebody in the game who would know and has an idea of this stuff, has a background of it. What the hell? Zach Scott. I mean, the guy was a former GM. Sue me, Zach. What are you going to know? I was talking to him about it off the air.
That's awesome.
I don't even know if he said it on the air, off the air, whatever. But
it's great. Go ahead. So Zach Scott,
he's done a nice job contributing on SNY Baseball Night in New York. And he, from a scout perspective, remember, he had a lot of success with the Red Sox organization.
Yes, he did. He did.
So I was like, what do you think? He said he likes Jet Williams, but the comparisons to Dustin Pedroia, he feels like, are not.
Okay, is Williams? I think Williams is faster. Did Pedroia have more power? What's the difference?
Yeah, I didn't get into all those details.
Okay.
But remember, Pedroia, Pedroia was just a great player. I mean, the size is the comparison, and then I think people are hoping that. I do feel like, I don't know, did you ever think Dustin Pedroia was the most athletic? Like, I feel like Jeff.
No, I didn't. I think Jet's more explosive, more quick twitch.
So maybe he's more athletic, but Pedroia, probably just a better player. I'm not even minimizing Jet Williams, but think about what you're asking, and that's why I'm perplexed as to why Hoff wouldn't want to give him up. I'm not worried about what Jet Williams is going to be eventually. I want the young control. How many years he's under contract here? At least 2 more, no?
No, just 1 year.
Oh, this is it?
This is it. Yeah.
So last year when they were going to trade him, that was the appeal last year.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit less. I'd still do it. I think you have Dylan Cease, although you probably could get him without having to give up Jet Williams, no?
Well, I just saw that proposed somewhere on social media. That's why I lifted. I didn't just come up with Jet Williams myself. But
so Cease only has this year on his contract?
Him and King, same thing. Well, no, actually, King has an option for next year now.
So King's under more control than Cease is?
Yeah, they kind of that finagled. Well,
right?
No, King has the finagled contract. Remember, like they kind of did some kind of weird deal this year where it really hits after the season's over. It's some stupid convoluted contract.
Yeah, I mean, so then after that, maybe I take it back, and Hoff was probably right. If you could get him without giving up Jet Williams, which you might be able to do if he's only got 1 year left. You get like Jet Williams is a top prospect, no? The Mets top prospect?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and here's the thing is he's the best center fielder prospect that we have. And let's be serious. Tyrone Taylor is not the starting center fielder for the next 5 years.
I know.
Neither is Jose Siri.
But I don't know if they look at him as that. Again, I don't know. We could find out and try to talk to some people and see what they think of Jet Williams. Hey, it'd be nice to see Jet Williams contribute at the big league level this year. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be the case. But when you're talking about adding Dylan Cease, here's what I'm trying to do. Let's simplify it this way. Forget the contract stuff. Forget the prospect ranking. Forget the price, what it would cost. Who do you think enhances the Mets' chances to win a World Series now?
The answer is Cease.
That's why that's why I'm saying. So
I would do it as well.
I'm looking at it from that prism, saying, Jet Williams could have potential and he's under control, and I get like the value may be off in my mind, but you add Dylan Cease to this Mets team, which I already think is loaded. Now they're even more loaded, and you're filling the probably greatest area of need, the starting rotation, with a high-end starter.
Yep.
I'm trying to win a World Series now.
I'm with you. I would do it too. Now, listen,
So you would do that?
I would. Okay. I'm with you. Of course, I follow him. I see something written about him. I read it, but I haven't seen him play. But I am looking at his numbers, and I'd still make the trade. So, he's obviously working his way around, so he's not at one spot too long. All right. But early on, when he was first drafted, he was with the Port St. Lucie Mets, and then he went up to High A in Brooklyn, right? And the 2 stops where he had a significant amount of at-bats, his on-base percentage was .422 and .451.
Right.
And one of the places he stole 32 bases. So
he's got to be able to stay healthy.
Yeah, he's an on-base machine, it seems. He runs like the wind. 6 triples, so he's got a little gap power. Yeah, again, I don't want to turn into scout here with somebody I've never really seen play.
You mean he could be like the next Spencer Jones?
Yeah. I did not get favorable stuff. I was having a conversation, and I will not divulge the name. I did not get a real favorable report on Spencer Jones.
Again?
Yeah. I was told that there's people in the organization that think he is right now ready to play center field.
Okay.
He's got a rocket. Like, I actually went, I'm a nutball with this.
Yeah.
I actually went back to his perfect game profile, which is the amateur stuff, whatever, that like all the kids playing. And he's throwing like 95 miles an hour. And he obviously playing outfield and first base. So he's got the arm and he's got the athletic profile to play center field. They don't know if he's going to hit. They're like,
see, this is
he's
why.
never really hit yet.
Think about how absurd this is. Last year at this time, we were talking about Spencer Jones potentially having an impact on the Yankees last year, and if not, then he would be the replacement if they lost Juan Soto. Oh, it's okay because they need to make room for Spencer Jones if they lose Soto, and instead they go out and get Bellinger, and we're hearing Dominguez is going to be the favorite to get a left field job. I haven't even heard Spencer Jones' name.
There's a reason for that. I'm telling you, I would not frame it as I'm not saying that the Yankees are down on him. That's not the proper way to frame it. I would say that the Yankees just aren't quite as enthusiastic as they once were. And now I will inject this. I don't think there's any chance he makes the team opening day. I don't think there's a chance.
And they wouldn't trade him for Corbin Burns a year ago.
I'm telling you right now, Caleb Durbin from this year, that's going to be Spencer Jones next year. You're going to hear Mr. Cashman tout him up, and all of a sudden he's going to get traded.
They traded Durbin.
They traded Durbin.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Who the hell's Caleb Durbin?
Oh.
They got Devin Williams for him.
Right.
All of a
I
sudden,
gotcha.
before you know it, they're going to start.
Well, then why wouldn't you do the Jed Williams trade? It's the same philosophy.
No. I'm telling you. Because Brian Cashman pulled it out of his you-know-what. Nobody knows what Caleb Durbin's going to do. The same way that all of a sudden you're hearing bad news about Spencer Jones. And it's not really
But nobody
good.
knows what Jed Williams... I'm confused, Top. But nobody knows what Jed Williams is
I
going to
was
do.
just countering off of you said Spencer Jones didn't hear really good things. I'm telling you, Cashman's going to flip him next year because he's going to make it sound like he's amazing. Like what they did to Caleb Durbin. Durbin's nobody.
The only difference there is that they made it sound like he was amazing last year.
Well, he was. No, they didn't make it. I mean, remember there was a stat where...
Well, then they screwed up.
Well, again, it's minor league. It's spring training. There was a stat. I don't know if you could find this. Don't even worry about it. It was very much in like a very.
Remember my nickname from last year?
Yeah, Spencer Jones Moss.
Yes.
Of course, I remember your nickname, dude. You and your stupid nicknames. But I remember there was a stretch where. Because the fear in the Yankee organization was that he had too much swing and miss. Like he just didn't make enough contact at the higher level. And then, he was with the big team for a while, and he went like X amount of straight pitches without swinging and missing. I know that that's a very obscure reference from last spring training, but it stands out in my mind, like which emboldened me, and I think others be like, oh, if the only fear about this kid is that he's not making enough contact, but here he is, 37 straight, I'm just throwing a number out, 37 straight pitches without swinging and missing in Tampa, maybe he is going to be the real deal. But I listen, I'm just telling you what I've heard, and I heard it from a very good source. I myself am no longer, pumping the virtues of Spencer Jones. I feel like they don't view him the way they once did.
Which just is a lesson in pumping these prospects, whether it's Jet Williams or somebody else, hyping these prospects up. You never know. You go gaga for Spencer Jones a year ago, or it's Jet Williams, or it's this guy or that guy. This has been the issue for years. That's why I would probably trade the prospects, especially if it means being a World Series, finalizing a World Series team.
I think, Hoff, I just threw you down a massive rabbit hole. Did you actually find something?
I found something. It says Jones didn't swing and miss on a pitch until his 10th game of spring training.
I knew it was something nuts. Think about this, guys. Now, he's 6'7". He runs like the wind. Remember, I also referenced that first to third was a tenth of a second slower than De La Cruz.
Right, so wouldn't that then tell you all these things that looked like it was going to be a surefire thing? Wouldn't that tell you then the next time somebody gets hyped up like that, I got to wait and see? That's why, you know me, I don't get it. I don't care about these prospects until they get here. Yeah. I want to see what they do here. All this hype, all this talk.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that is the prudent thing to do.
Even Volpe, Dominguez, Alvarez, like the guys who are actually having some success. Volpe is having some success.
Yeah.
He hasn't lived up to the hype. Alvarez has had some success. He hasn't lived up to the hype. Beatty, he's another one. Like, all these guys, show me the guys that have actually hit.
The one guy that we wanted to get rid of the most was the one guy who's really
Vientos,
good.
Vientos. Right. They were, forget about what we were saying. The Mets were saying, Vientos, They showed you. They went and got J.D. Martinez. They kept him down in the minors, brought him back up. He hits a home run, send him back down in the minors.
Get back to Syracuse, buddy. Thanks for the home run. Get lost. I know. But I do remember that stat, and thank you for that, Hoff. That probably wasn't the easiest find, but that excited me because I'm like, all right, he's 6'7", he runs like the wind, he's got a rocket, could play left, could play center, could play right, lefty profile power, this and that, and okay, the only thing he doesn't do is make enough contact, but wait, he just won 10 straight games playing with the major leaguers. I know you're getting fed fastballs and the hitters are ahead of the pitchers. I know all this, trust me, but I'm like, wow, this young man just played 10 games down in Tampa in the Grapefruit League, and he hasn't swung and missed, not struck out, swung and missed at a pitch in 10 games? I'm like, all right, but I don't think they like him anymore. That's the bottom line.
Fun while it lasts.